Securities offered through TJ Stearns, a registered representative of Crown Capital Securities LP, member FINRA SIPC. Content is intended to provide accurate information, however, is not intended as financial, tax, or legal advice. Please consult a financial, legal, or tax professional for specific information regarding your individual situation. Opinions expressed and provided are for general informational purposes only and should not be considered a solicitation for the purchase or sale of any security.
Welcome to Protect and Grow with Chicagoland certified financial planner Tim Stearns of TJ Stearns Incorporated. Trust, respect, and results. TJ Stearns Incorporated focuses on comprehensive financial planning and benefits.
And welcome into the program. This is Protect and Grow Chicagoland Retirement. Along with us, giving us perspective and guidance on how to navigate this crazy, complex financial world is certified financial planner, Chicagoland's CFP, Tim Stearns here with us. Tim, always a pleasure. We appreciate the time.
Peter, thanks for having me, man.
Again, always a pleasure. And Tim, not only the time, but the guidance that you do provide to savers and investors in and across Chicagoland. And Tim, the time of year is here, really actually kind of running up on the deadline here for taxes, but still some opportunity to maybe plan for the future in considering those Roth accounts. Now, this is not something that everybody has been taught to take advantage of. We're hearing more and more about it. And really, it's not the best thing to maybe save as much as possible on last year's taxes. But looking forward, it may be a great opportunity to save as much as possible over our lifetime.
I like Roth conversions quite a bit, especially with the taxes the way they currently are. It's a great way to do it. We literally have an exercise that we do in our retirement class that shows people how we can do them, and not cause more taxes at a higher tax bracket. And that's huge because most people think, well, you're going to jump me up to a higher tax bracket that I don't want to be part of. That's not true at all. We almost show them it's like filling up a bucket. If you have another 50 grand that we can go, then we do that. You don't take a chunk of it, $500,000 and do it. I'm talking about little by little, just to get the conversion going, especially when you have people who are like 60, or in their 60s even. I mean, a long-term conversion is a great idea for people because we are learning that people are living longer and longer. The average male is 85 years old. The average female is 88 years old for longevity. So these are things that we can help people with. And we tell them, let's go through the motions and see what we come out with. Does it work in all cases? Of course not. But we do have a CPA on staff and we can show them exactly, penny for penny what that looks like.
Well, if you would like to see what your tax savings opportunities are or could be into the future, if you'd like a side-by-side comparison of if you do nothing or default to the IRS's plan versus being just a little proactive with that tax management, what the cost savings could be, pick up the phone, give CFP, Certified Financial Planner Tim Stearns, a call, 800-640-2256, 800-640-2256, 800-640-2256. Tim, I don't know why anybody would want to do this, but I heard the saying once, how do you eat an elephant? And the answer is a bite at a time. And
Right.
So I guess that's what you're talking about with the Roth conversion. If you have a $500,000, $750,000, $1 million tax deferred retirement account, you're probably not going to eat the whole thing at once or convert the whole thing at once.
Correct.
You're going to do it a bite at a time.
Right. And to your point, we show people that. The other part I really like about it is that, the Secure Act is going after these IRAs. We got rid of the stretch IRAs. People, if God forbid something happened, my dad has passed away, right? So now my mom has taken his IRA and she's taking out money at a 91-year-old's rate. Well, when she passes, I'll have to take it out at her rate and drain it within 10 years, and I'm still in my earning years. That's not something I want to do. So If I do Roth conversions for my kids, they won't have to live through that. That's a great opportunity. A longevity play, a legacy play, whatever you want to say, where you can actually, get away from Secure Act and not let it affect you adversely like it has most Americans.
Yeah, make no mistake about it. That change was not beneficial or to our advantage. Yes, they gave us an extra year and a half of potential tax deferral that the vast majority of people
Right.
will not be able to take advantage of anyway, but they took away, on the other hand, generational ability to continue to defer that tax bill, and therefore they're going to collect a lot more money a lot quicker. It is essentially going to be a tax increase on retirement account inheritance, transferring those retirement accounts to the next generation. Effectively, we have to drain those quicker. More than likely, the IRS will collect a much larger percentage of those accounts when they do transfer on to next generations. Now, if that is your goal, Tim, it's not that that goal cannot be done under these new set of rules, this new Secure Act law change. It's that you need to plan differently. And the Roth opportunity is one of those things that can help us still achieve the goals that we had before.
I agree. And this all comes into play with doing a plan. We want to do a tax plan for people. We can help them with that. Again, with the CPA on staff that, we're pretty good at that. And he's in-house, so that makes it even easier. But people, it's interesting. A lot of people come in here who are, I think, highly educated, and they don't have a clue about the Secure Act, or they know the name, but they don't know what happened there. And so when we tell them it, they're, oh man, that really stinks. So then, they really start thinking about Roth conversions, because again, there's no required minimum distributions there, and their heirs can have it. That can grow forever. I mean,
Yeah.
think of the power of that.
Well, typical government fashion, they made it sound warm and fuzzy with a nice acronym name, the Secure Act, setting every community up for retirement enhancement is, I think, what they came up with to get that name. Not really what it does, in fact. I mean, there are some aspects of it that may bolster retirement, may help retirees, things like including the ability to have some amount of guaranteed income inside of a 401k. May be a good thing, but ultimately, again, no mistake about it, this is in an effort to increase what will be confiscated from our retirement accounts by the IRS. And yet, Tim, this is a deal that we entered into willfully when we chose to defer and delay paying our tax bills inside of these 401ks or IRAs or tax deferred accounts. The agreement that we entered into there gave Uncle Sam the rules and the discretion to change those rules at any time.
Yes, unfortunately, as you've said, in retirement, the tax laws are written in pencil, and that's a true story. And one other thing I'll bring up that I think about all the time when they're helping us, the government. I'm using
air quotes there for those just listening on the radio, right?
Exactly, right. I want them to be up to space with us here. But basically, what he was telling us is that if they gave you something in your left pocket, they took it out of your right pocket. That was my professor when I was getting my master's. So that is something that I would say that people need to realize what the Secure Act did. Yeah, it pushed you off till 72 to do your required minimum distributions. But if God forbid something happens to you, you're and your spouse, you're going to have your heirs drain your accounts within 10 years. And that's going to be a lot more taxes for the government. And that's exactly what they plan.
Well, again, if you would like a cost analysis, what the tax liability will be on your retirement accounts over the course of your financial future, looking out 20, 30 years into the future, how much will you have to pay in taxes on that account versus what you could do to be proactive and maybe gain more control over that bill. If you'd like to see that side-by-side cost-benefit analysis, pick up the phone, give TJ Stearns, Tim Stearns, your certified financial planner a call, 800-640-2256. That's just part of the Protect and Grow plan that Tim will put together. Now, this is not 1,000 pages of financial jargon. This is simple, easy to understand language with lots of backup information to support different aspects of it. He looks at the investment plan, the income plan, the healthcare plan, the legacy plan, the tax plan, how to maximize Social Security, how to minimize fees, how to get as much control over different aspects as possible, and how to minimize the areas where you don't have control. That's what the Protect and Grow plan is all about. It's a complimentary service that he offers as an extension of this program. All you need to do to receive that, to get started in that process, pick up the phone, give a call, 800-640-2256, 800-640-2256. Visit the website, tjstearns.com, tjstearns.com. If you are watching the program, today's edition of Protect and Grow Chicagoland Retirement, the link below the video, there's descriptions there with lots of links to backup information, the subjects that we talk about, your opportunity to take advantage of that Protect and Grow plan. So just click the link. Of course, as always, like, subscribe, share, ring the bell so you're notified of future editions of the program. But Tim Stearns is a certified financial planner willing to donate his time to you, donate his work, and put that plan together so that you can work that plan and achieve your financial goals. Again, the number 800-640-2256. Tim, two recent Kiplinger articles, very interesting. The first one, the cost of retirement has tripled, but a new way of planning can help. Tim, the folks at Kipling are probably listening to this program. They're talking about income allocation is a way to better control expenses. Now, you've always said you can do more with less. You can create more income on one side. They're indicating that it also helps you to identify and control expenses on the other side. So benefits on both sides. And then the second Kiplinger article, are your taxes set to explode in retirement? They say the way we're doing things, we're strapping ourselves to a ticking tax time bomb. Tim, the Protect and Grow plan, the income allocation plan, the written retirement income plan helps with both of these issues.
Exactly. We make people understand exactly what they have going on. We literally tell them we want to know what is coming in the house as far as income, guaranteed sources like Social Security. Do they have a pension, etc. And then most of them say, "Well, I haven't even looked at Social Security," So, or I have an idea. Well, let's get that down to brass tacks. So we want to know what's coming in the door and figure that out. Then we want to know what's coming out. Are they going to downsize? Are they going to move to another state? That seems to be a popular thing in Illinois right now. So those are things that we look for to see how we're going to do an income allocation plan. I think it's very interesting to watch both a husband and wife, two spouses get on the same page as to what their bills truly are. I don't think most people, usually it's one spouse or the other does that, does the bills, and maybe the other one is out earning, whoever that might be. Doesn't matter, female or male. But at the end of the day, why don't we sit them down in a room and show them an income allocation plan? I think they're usually, surprised at what some of their bills are and what they're spending money on truly. So we make them get their budget, in hand. And then more importantly, make sure that they understand how we're going to pay the bills on the budget that's in hand.
Well, again, that's part of the income allocation, the written retirement income plan based off of how do you support your standard of living, your quality of life, and what kind of assets does it take to recreate that kind of security once you leave the paycheck behind? And as the Kiplinger article alludes to, this is a way of planning that can help you on both sides, on controlling the costs and expenses and on leveraging your money, doing more with less, creating a higher income in retirement. And if you have a abundance of wealth, or if you've got just enough to retire off of, I think either category, you want to leverage your money. You want to do as much with it as possible. That's why you need to learn about income allocation. And Tim, you make a few different resources available for folks to dive into that. And again, just part of the Protect and Grow plan.
Right. And, if people want, we'll be happy to get the book Income Allocation into their hands, just so they can get a handle on what exactly we're doing. There's no smoke and mirrors here. We're working in the know. So the book really spells that out. We have to anyone over $500,000 worth of assets, we'll be happy to get that book again over to them. We can do it digitally. We also have it manually that we can get it out. But I think the book really boils it down for people. A lot of people think they have a handle on things, or they have a goal. I talked to a gentleman the other day who said, well, I need to do this, that, and the other thing to get to $5 million. And I said, but based on why is it $5 million? And we went through it. but he's never done an income allocation plan. So he might be able to work with less, and that's a thing. So I would go through that process with people and make sure that they understand exactly where they're at.
Yeah, I mean, fantastic goal, but even if you reach that level, you don't want to have to count on all 5 million being there for you to be able to generate
Right.
the income. You want to do more with less. You want to leverage your money. You want to identify what's needed for the baseline income and then what's left over discretionary. And that is the process behind income allocation. And if you'd like that book, again, digitally, physically, if you'd like to understand that and then go through the planning process, get your own Protect and Grow plan. Pick up the phone right now. Give a call, 800-640-2256. That's 800-640-2256. 800-640-2256. And Tim, the tax planning aspect, part of that income allocation plan, the second of the Kiplinger articles that I referenced, again, the links below in the description if you're watching the video. But are taxes getting ready to explode in retirement? We don't know, but it's been talked about, and what steps we can take to control that tax bill in the future are pretty important. So if you've got $1 or if you've got $10 million set aside in tax deferred retirement accounts, I think right now, Tim, this is of particular interest. We need to be paying specific attention to the opportunities that we have to better control that tax bill.
Well, I mean, a lot of people don't realize that tax laws can change anytime. And right now, that is something that could come down the pipeline real quick because they both Democrats have both the House, Senate, and the presidency. And I'm not getting political. I'm just saying that's the truth. So if they decide that they would like to raise taxes, chances are that's going to happen. Taxes are the lowest they've been in forever. And so I think that this right now is a great time to do a Roth conversion. That type of stuff really helps for people. The other thing we tell people is if you're still going to work for some years, look into the 401k Roth. It's outstanding.
Right.
I mean, that thing, you can really put some serious money away into it. And then more importantly, you have the ability to, leave it to your heirs without them having to drain it in 10 years. And the Secure Act doesn't affect it, and until they come up with another law that could destroy that, I think that that's a great opportunity for people.
So, Tim, there are a couple different ways to get money growing for our future tax-free. One is brand new contributions, and that's when I'm paid my paycheck, money in my hands, sticking it in my retirement account pocket, so to speak, brand new money going into that pocket. That's a contribution. There are some limits and limitations. If we make too much, we can't put it in the Roth account. If we have the opportunity at work with the Roth 401k, that earnings limitation may not be an issue. We should be able to do that. But we can only put so much per year into that. Whereas the conversion is, I've already done a good job in saving for retirement. I've already built up that retirement account, but maybe it's in the wrong pocket. Maybe it's in the tax deferred pocket, and I want to move it over so that it's growing tax free. A cost along the way, but far fewer limitations and more opportunity for just about anybody listening within the sound of our voice that has $1 in a tax deferred account currently, correct?
That's right. So, I mean, those are great opportunities for people. And that's why I think, you have to take a look at it, at least go through the exercise of it to see if that's a fit.
Well, again, if you would like to have that cost analysis done for your retirement accounts, pick up the phone, give Tim Stearns a call. It's part of the Protect and Grow plan, 800-640-2256, 800-640-2256. And Tim, because of our progressive tax system, the more income that we are going to create for ourselves in retirement, the more costly a mistake it is to overlook this opportunity. For somebody who is maybe going to survive off of $40,000 or $50,000 per year in retirement, that's going to be a less significant withdrawal, a less significant tax bill from their retirement accounts as somebody who maybe is generating $150,000, $200,000 a year to live off of in retirement. Therefore, we've got to pay attention to this wherever we are, because the money's got to stretch if we're on one end of the spectrum and we want to save as much as possible on the other end.
Well, it's about paying bills, right? In retirement, people come in here all the time. What is my goal? What should I get to? Or they have a goal. It's not about that. It's about what are your bills and paying the bills. So if you don't go through an exercise of income allocation, which again, I'd say 90% of the people that attend our classes don't ever, never ever have they done that. So a plan. So or their advisors never advise them to do it. And I always find it interesting that some of these 401ks have, you know, if you keep saving the way you're doing, you're going to have X per month to live on. That there is no guarantee in that. You might. I don't like the word might in retirement. I want to know for sure that I have this amount of money for retirement.
Yep. And again, if you would like to have that in your plan, incorporated as part of the plan, the Protect and Grow plan helps you to understand and define what that retirement need is going to be, how much your personal assets, your savings, your investments is going to have to generate for you, helps you minimize the amount that it's going to take to generate that amount, as well as maximizing available sources. If you've got a pension, Social Security, looking at how to optimize those available streams, minimize fees where possible, minimize taxes where possible. All of those items are part of the Protect and Grow plan. The goal to help you maximize the areas you have control over, minimize the areas where you don't. Pick up the phone, give Tim Stearns a call, 800-640-2256, 800-640-2256. Tim, we have been saving in these tax deferred accounts because we have been taught that taxes will be lower in retirement. And for a good majority of those who are in the transition period to retirement today, maybe in that red zone, 5 to 10 years on either side of that window, probably accurate. I mean, taxes in the early 80s, you would be in the upper 30% tax bracket if you were making much more than about $65,000. Today, it takes earning more than $600,000 to reach that threshold. So taxes have effectively come down, but it's not about looking back. It's about looking forward. How can we make the best use of our money? And that's why I think today more than ever, the opportunity is knocking and we need to answer the door on controlling that tax bill.
I mean, everyone talks about how my taxes are going to go down in retirement. That's not always the case. Most retirees actually have less deductions. So you want to make sure that you understand what the taxes are going to be for you. That's why it's so important to go through kind of what their goals are and what their plan's going to be and what their current bills are and what their current bills are going to grow to or not grow to in retirement. Because more than likely your taxes aren't going to go down. I don't care what people tell me. We start adding in the trip that they've always wanted to do, but they're using qualified funds to do that trip. Well, these are things that are going to bring up your income. And the next thing you know, you're paying more in taxes. So, or about the same. So at the end of the day, we need to make sure that, if tax laws reverse and start climbing higher, it will likely affect those with your larger retirement accounts and income disproportionately.
And nowhere is it written in the tax code that retirees automatically pay a lower tax rate. So,
Right.
Again, most retirees, in fact, have less deductions. Yes, the Social Security is a little tax advantaged, but that can change, and it has changed. They have passed laws that have affected that in the past, and they may again. So as we are making the transition to retirement, we need to look at how to effectively manage that tax bill. To me, Tim, it seems like paying a bill out of our paycheck as we're going is a little easier to account for than out of our nest egg once we get to retirement. But don't forget that even if tax laws, tax rates, tax brackets stay the same, Tim, if our goal is growth on our money, then that's the IRS's goal as well. They want us to grow that account balance because the tax bill grows with it.
Right. Yeah. And that's exactly right. So what I see a lot is, people are doing the 401ks and they're, saving taxes today, but at the end of the day, you have the ability to pay more taxes in the future, which, that doesn't sound that great to me. So, I mean, that's why a Roth conversion, 401k Roth, those are opportunities out there. If you're eligible for just a plain old Roth, that's a great thing to do too. So, I mean, that's something that, we can take a look at. This is April 10th. So we actually have the ability, to do this. You could double up your efforts to do Roths. For a husband and wife, you could do up to $24,000. And if they're over 50, even more than that. So those are up, give us a call and we'll be happy to help you, get through that and figure it out.
Well, another Kiplinger article dovetails nicely into the previous two that we cited, how 10 types of retirement income get taxed. And you got to understand your investment options. You got to understand how they produce an income for you and how that income will be taxed. Anything from traditional IRAs to 401ks to the Roth IRAs, very different in the tax consequences. The traditional IRAs, the 401ks, they may produce a double, triple whammy compounding effect as far as the tax. You withdraw from those accounts and they are taxed. Those withdrawals are taxed. And then it could cause your Social Security to become taxable. And then it could cause your Medicare premiums to increase, meaning you have to pull even more out of those accounts and you pay even more taxes. Therefore, Tim, draining those accounts faster than we thought or anticipated. Social Security, we've got to understand the taxation of that and pensions. We've got to understand stocks, bonds, and mutual funds, how all of those are taxed, how dividends are taxed, how annuities are taxed. All of these have different qualities, different behaviors, and it's part of the Protect and Grow plan that you put together and part of that cost benefit analysis of the taxation of those retirement accounts.
Right. So, people seem to think they have an idea of what Social Security can be taxed, or they have no clue. And then I'd say about 10% of them know the numbers. But you get up there pretty quick where you're paying taxes on Social Security. So you already paid one tax and now you're paying a second tax on it, only in the United States.
Yeah. Well, let's control what we can control. Let's minimize the areas where we can't. And it starts with efficient, effective planning with a qualified, experienced professional, ladies and gentlemen. Give certified financial planner Tim Stearns a call. He's made two big offers on today's program. One, if you'd like that Protect and Grow plan, no cost, no obligation, get the plan to map out your financial future to do just as the plan describes, protect and grow. 800-640-2256. Offer number two, if you've got more than $500,000 saved for your retirement, that book, Income Allocation, is an essential retirement planning strategy guidebook. He makes an offer to get that in your hands, no cost, free of charge, no obligation. Just call now, 800-640-2256, 800-640-2256 for Income Allocation, the book outlining the model to address some of retirement's greatest risk. 800-640-2256. Tim, we always appreciate your time. Fast-moving program here today on Protect and Grow Chicagoland Retirement.
Thanks, Peter.
Tune into Chicagoland certified financial planner Tim Stearns' full radio program on 890 WLS every Sunday at 11 a.m. and visit tjstearns.com for many valuable resources, including other great episodes of Chicagoland Retirement. Be sure to subscribe.
Securities offered through TJ Stearns, a registered representative of Crown Capital Securities LP, member FINRA SIPC. The information presented on this program is provided for informational purposes only without warranty of accuracy, completeness, or suitability for particular purpose. This program is not intended to be and does not constitute financial, investment, legal, or tax advice. This information is general in nature, not specific enough to be construed as advice. You should not make any decision based on the information presented on this program without independent consultation with an appropriately licensed professional or competent advisor. Investment in securities or the market involves a potential risk for loss of principal. Trading, therefore, may not be suitable for all listeners. Annuity guarantees are based solely on the financial strength and claims-paying ability of the issuing company. Withdrawals of growth from annuities may be taxable as ordinary income in the year it is taken. Individuals should review contracts for specific details of the product's features and costs.